I wanted to tell you a story about a guy that was crying on one side of a river, and because he wanted to get to a girl on the other side of the river, but he kept yelling and screaming at her, I'll be there, I'm going to come and get you. She was like, oh God, I really would like to marry somebody that wants to come and get me. But my dad is looking for the right person. And he was like, I'm the right person. I'm going to come get you. And he sat there for days and weeks and months, and he couldn't figure out how to get to the other side of the river. So he asked this guy that came across, the guy coming across asked him, what are you crying about? He's like, man, I just can't seem to get to the other side of the river. And the guy asked him, well, what is on the other side of the river? He says, there's a girl that I love, but she told me that if I can get to the other side of the river, she would talk to her dad and I can marry her. But I can't figure out a way to get to the other side of the river. So he was like, you know what? I have been here for months and years and I can't figure it out, so I quit. I'm not coming back. And he's like, okay. So the guy that had asked him kept coming back to the side of the river, and he was like, what is it that he keeps waiting for? And then when he seen the girl that was on the other side of the river, he was like, oh my God, no wonder he wanted to get on the other side of the river. But she told him, if you can come to the other side of the river, my dad will have to approve of you. And the guy was like, that's not a problem. So he thought about it. It took him a little while, but he was like, you know what, I think I can get to the other side of the river. So he went to the forest and he got a rock and he put it in the water. He stepped on it. Yeah, that's secure. So he went back to the forest. It took him a long time to get the rocks out of the ground, to get the trees away from him, get in, bring the rocks, rolling them, pushing them, putting them in place, having to carry them across, put them in another place where he could step over. Well, he finally made a pathway through the river to be able to get to the other side. So the girl ran and told her dad, which was the chief of the tribe. And when the chief was watching him work profusely, trying to get to the other side of the river, whenever he did make it, he was like, I want to marry you. And she was like, no, I wanted to marry the other guy. And he was like, well, he left, he quit. And the father of the girl says, no, you're not going to marry the other guy you wanted, because this guy made the effort to make a bridge and get here. You're going to marry him because that's what I said. He's a working, hard-working, thinking, and he's the one that made the effort to get here. You're marrying him. He said, son, welcome home.